started and then he shows up. Okay. All right.
All right, we're gonna start the meeting. Start the pledge. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Amen.
So, here we are. I did check with him and he knows about it.
So Tom's supposed to be here at 4 and he's not here.
Yeah. So, you could go to the minutes.
Yep, let's just go on to the minutes and then we'll just back up if Tom shows up.
It's the July 13th minutes. No,
I'm good with, yep.
okay.
Yeah, I saw
And then
that.
special meeting July 23rd, I could not locate them on my computer, so those are that was the meeting with the fire department.
Yeah, yeah.
So I'll just rewrite and send it to you.
Okay, okay.
So
You okay with the minutes,
Yep.
Ron?
Yes.
Okay, all right. Citizens comment? Any citizens have a comment? Okie dokie. Police department? Oh, that's all right.
Get your monthly report. Did have to report that we heard some news from Austin, and his deployment has been extended till December. Unknown date, but December, so.
Really? Okay.
And he was supposed to be done in November, right?
October.
Oh, it was October.
He's supposed to be
Okay.
done mid-October, but
Okay.
they've extended it. He just was notified late last week.
Can you remind me when will Michael be done with the
He'll be
academy?
done December 17th, I believe.
Okay, so right about the same time.
Great.
Okay.
Hey, can't
All
argue
right, I
with
guess.
I did want to get council's permission to entertain getting bids for a squad car for the first of next year. Originally, we were supposed to purchase one this year. Obviously, we had a real need because,
Right.
so I pushed it off another year. Bidding for the Fords has not come out yet, but it's unknown when it's going to happen. So I'd like just to be able to start getting bids.
isn't that a state bid? State
Yes,
bid?
well, yeah, kind of, yes.
And last time it was kind of difficult to even locate them, correct?
Well,
Was that
yes,
still the
because we
issue?
were actually given a false bid from a dealership near us, and then we ended up finding out that, no, that's not a correct bid, and the bidding had closed. So the bidding is a little bit better now as far as supplies and things like that. I talked to Crane last week, and he says the process is a little bit better than it was 3 or 4 years ago, right after COVID. It was difficult.
Okay.
But I'd like to get one ordered, so it would be here towards the first of the year, so.
It's in next year's budget.
Okay.
It's what's being moved into next year's. So.
Okay.
And additionally, I'd like to, usually we take our oldest car and then trade it in. It's slightly used because it was one of my old car before this one here. So I would kind of like to keep that as an extra instead of the 8,000 or 9,000 we get for it.
I was just gonna ask you how much we get for them.
Yeah, and just keep it, because usually we just kind of bid it to our outfitter, and he usually gives us some money towards what our outbid is. So that's something I would just like to keep as an extra, since we'll have an extra officer than what we normally do. So we'd
That's
have
a-
4 cars.
So we'll have 4 cars and then we'll have 3. Okay.
We'll have 3 vehicles full-time, the other be for part-time or a spare if ours breaks down, which that tends to happen sometimes. Not very often, we keep them pretty good, but.
Okay.
So just like to entertain that. Like I said, obviously, we're not purchasing any at this point, just getting
Right.
bids.
Yeah.
When those come open, that's just.
When do those bids open? Don't they open?
They don't know for sure. So usually they close them, well, the last time we ordered one back in '23, they closed them in September. So that's why I thought, when I went to Crane, he said, no, they haven't even opened them yet for the SUVs. Now, they have opened them up for the trucks, but I'm not really interested in a truck, I don't believe so.
Okay.
Good with that.
I'm good with that.
Yeah.
Good with that.
Thank you.
Fire department. All right, fire department. I talked to Lee today. I know there's a paper in here because I saw one earlier today.
Should be Here, set it's up toward the top, right after. Pick that up. There it is.
Yeah. Oh, this isn't the one I saw.
This,
It's on the backside.
That is.
Yeah, there.
I'll guide you through.
I talked to Lee today because this didn't say, we had talked about, the billing and everything, and this didn't have any columns on it for if anything was billed. Neither one of these were billed, one because they were disregarded and the other was because it was out when they got there. So that's why neither one of these were billed anyway. But I did talk to Lee about it, and he's gonna see if he can squeeze some of this stuff together on here.
The way I understood this is just something that the township now needs, and this
Yes,
didn't
that's what
really
Lee said.
react to yours. So this
Yep.
it just showed me how many people
Yep.
that state has to have now.
Yeah.
So,
And and these were mutual aid, meaning they gave, these people gave mutual aid, or they were mutual aid to these people? Or to these
mutual
other?
aid to Markle.
So we wouldn't have been able to bill them anyways then, based on
Not
our.
mutual
Right.
aid.
Okay.
There was a thing I saw on Facebook that said you can bill for medical runs, and I need to find that and double check that.
Alright.
That was an issue that the trustee had brought up at the last meeting.
Yep.
So,
Okay.
well, for Petey's sake, I don't have his. I don't think I have him on my phone.
Ready for Dustin?
Yeah, you have my report, you can kind of see what we've been doing the last month, what things have been keeping us busy. There's a few things at the bottom to kind of discuss. We had a power outage, July 27th
Yeah.
from a tree behind the home of 201 West First Street. That was the second outage we've had as a result of a limb falling from that tree. And after looking at the tree, it is under my recommendation to remove it. There's pictures there at the end of my report. There's several more limbs that are overhanging the lines, but I talked to the homeowner and he doesn't want the tree fully removed. He would just like it to be trimmed up. So I don't know what direction to go after talking to him. I just know that something needs to be done because we're definitely gonna have some more problems with that tree, power outages, if we don't do anything. So
Okay.
The last outage was $6,500 this past week because there's a transformer there.
I saw that.
And the time before, it was just under 6,000 to have them come in, so we've replaced transformers every time. So it's been costly
Okay.
from the financial side.
Have you gotten a quote? So the
I
quote
got a
you got
quote
was
from
for the
Mike's
full
tree.
tree.
Mike's Tree Service, and he verbally gave me a quote, said he was gonna give me something, but another guy thing, but he said 3,000 to remove the entire tree.
Okay.
And then I talked to the homeowner after that, and when he specified he just wanted to trim a few limbs. I haven't done anything since, so I thought I'd bring it to your attention and go from there.
Okay. Honestly, I would like to put some eyes on that, if that's all right. I mean, if we don't, or you wanted to do something like right now?
I mean, we had 2 outages in 2 months, so what's not to say, the next windstorm's gonna break another limb off, so.
Yeah.
Sooner than later.
What do you guys, I mean, do you
What's
want
what's our jurisdiction when it's on
Yeah, I was
someone's
gonna say,
property
what's
like
our-
that? Do
It's
we
in
have-
the electric lines, you have the right, there's been a previous encounter at this address. But this is now costing the town money, so it's a different situation. That's from the side that I would know. But you have the right to go in and protect your lines.
So is that an access through there, or is it, an easement for the electric, or is the electric
You
just runs through
have,
there?
you have easements wherever the electric runs, yeah.
Okay.
It's fairly close to the house, isn't it?
Yeah, you can see in one picture.
I was gonna say, I'm sorry, but the pictures are a little dark. They're kind of hard for me to see.
It's close, but you can also tell the tree is leaning towards the lines.
That's what, okay, so,
I mean, realistically, if we trimmed branches, is it possible to trim branches without cutting the tree down?
Yes.
That would keep it and protect the lines then, or?
To some extent, yeah.
Okay.
I mean, the one picture I have in the halfway up the trunk, you can see how rotted the one limb is that fell off.
Right.
I mean, it's hard to say what other limbs are gonna be like.
Did Mike give any indication of what he thought about the tree itself?
He definitely saw some limbs that were, problemsome,
Okay.
but as far as the whole tree versus just a few limbs, he didn't have a lot to say. Because at that point, I wasn't really considering leaving the tree.
Leaving any of the tree?
Yeah.
Has the homeowner had another chance to relook at it, or he's just adamant, doesn't want it taken down at all?
He's currently transitioning to a new home, so the timing isn't right for him, I guess, to do this. Like, I don't know, kind of wanted to maybe lay it off for the next homeowner. That's kind of vibe I got from him.
But the town would pay for it.
Right.
Yeah, it's in electric lines. It would be paid for by the electric department.
Yeah, I just didn't know what his, or trying to figure out what
But
his.
it's 3,000, it's 3,000 cut the tree down, it's how much for a transformer?
Well, this last round was $6,500.
$6,500.
Yeah.
You'll see it on
Yeah,
the thing, wherever it is.
it was, that was probably on the utility report, right? The price probably wasn't.
No, I mean on the accounts payable, you'll see.
Yeah.
Oh, right, but,
Yeah. It was several hours, wasn't it?
I think power outage for 5 hours.
And packs the vet clinic and
okay.
Might have to take what the tree trimmer's saying. I mean, if he's saying we gotta take the tree down, I think probably
I
not
was
take
gonna
the tree
say,
down.
I would like his opinion on whether he thinks the tree
Try
needs
to
to
get
come
some
down.
insight.
And then I feel like we have a better,
I can do that.
That doesn't take a
direction from
meeting,
the-
right? If we,
expert on that.
that doesn't take a meeting. I mean, if we hear from him, then we can make a decision on that.
just, or you can have Dustin make the decision.
Okay,
how
all
they
right.
want to do
Let
it.
us know as soon as you
Okay,
hear from him,
yep.
see what he
I'll
says.
Try to get in touch with somebody. And then secondly, last year I went to the IMEA conference, that's the Indiana Municipal Electrical Association. And just asking for consideration to send myself and Rob down to that this year. It's a good opportunity to connect with other utilities and network with them. And they'll have exhibit halls, set up vendors, people we can work with to, fit our needs.
I think I like that you're seeking out additional training and information.
When I saw
So I support that.
when I saw the flyer on this and I saw that Florence, at first I thought it was Florida.
Oh.
I thought, are we all going?
They
I
do.
don't know.
Now, wait a minute, there is one in Florida.
I was like, is everybody
You're
going?
gonna go to that?
Yeah, let's all go.
Yeah, I'm good with that.
Yeah, I did read it then, so yeah.
Consensus.
Yeah, I think we get a consensus there.
That's all I have. Thank you.
Thanks, Dustin. I do want to say thank you, Dustin. I noticed there's been a lot of work done, that you guys have taken the initiative to do some alleys and different stuff, and it's been noticed by people and
Thank you.
appreciated. So thank you for all the work you guys are doing.
Okay, can move on to the attorney.
You wanna do that before we do unfinished business?
Well, yeah, because.
Yeah, we'll just go back to
yeah,
Tom.
he's-
He's here now.
Where is he?
I'm sorry, I got stuck coming out of Fort Wayne, so what
All
your
good.
schedule is?
Well, yeah, but that's you're at the top of the agenda, so just go ahead and move to Tom. Yeah. He doesn't have to.
Okay, Tom,
Yep. Would you like me to come up, or?
wherever you're more comfortable.
I'm comfortable.
Okay.
Thank you. It was roughly 6 months ago, I believe, that I was here before the election, I believe last year, to talk about the land that you have, that you acquired from the school corporation. At the time, the developer that the town was working with, Oakmont Development Company, indicated to us that they were having a difficult time making the figures work from the land costs of development, and then on the flip side, the cost of sales of the lots and the absorption period that would take given the market they anticipated before the town of Warren. I advised at the time that waiting until spring of 26, hopefully, there'd be a improvement in the interest rate market. I recall having that discussion with you at that time. I had no idea that there'd be a little disruption over the Middle East with the country of Iran. Rates have not only not gone down, they've ticked up. The 10-year mortgage rate, 10-year bond rate, which is tied to a lot of the mortgage rates here, that is ticked up. It's around 4.6, 4.7%. Interest rates for mortgages have not gone down. Oakmont, I did check, Maryland, once this meeting was scheduled. They're appreciative. I don't believe they're interested. And it's not that they're not interested in Warren, they just don't believe that the factors that they could bring to the table would work economically for them.
I wasn't here for all of
Correct.
this, so
I'm
why are we
back
so tied to this developer?
I don't believe we are, Councilman.
Okay.
We're not.
Okay,
At this
so I haven't
point-
heard another developer's name. That's why I'm asking.
Correct.
Well, no, wait a
And-
minute, the council at one time chose this developer a long time ago.
Well, that's fine. That's the question I'm asking.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
I don't, as of today, we're not.
Yeah.
okay, so there's no, we're not tied to him. So,
Correct.
so we have other. I mean, we can, if we want to move forward, we can talk to other developers and see what they're.
That's what
You
he's
you
gonna
can,
present.
you can. And you have two appraisals which are beginning to be a little bit dated. But the average of those two appraisals was a little shy of $14,000 an acre. State statute, from a development standpoint, if the town wants to retain control and authority over what is going on here, I believe it's necessary for us to find a way. And I believe there are ways to work within that range, that box of an appraised value of the property. If we want to look at considering selling the land to a prospective developer, at something less than appraised value, state statute would allow you to do that, but we're likely going to have to bring in my opinion, somebody like the Huntington County Redevelopment Commission. You don't have your own redevelopment commission here in Warren, do you? So the Huntington County Redevelopment Commission, you have the ability to work with them, set parameters as to how the land would be developed. They in turn have greater flexibility under state statute to work outside of that appraised value. I would remind you that the process and the structure that we put into place with Oakmont when we were talking with them was very basic. We were gonna have the property appraised, we did. They pay us the money up front. That's where things started to go south. Statute does not require or put parameters on how that money is paid to you, when that money is paid to you, the structure by which that money is paid to you. It just requires that the land be sold at an average of two appraisals. So for instance, if you were to work with someone, and again, this is not Oakmont, a third party, and we'll get to that. You could enter into an agreement whereby you dictate the number of lots, you dictate, you keep tabs on and approve benchmarks in terms of the development that you want and you think is beneficial for your town. And if there are 50 lots, for instance, at the appraised value, that's roughly $5,700 per lot. You could require that money to be paid to you at the back end when each lot is sold instead of the front end. You could look at something like that, but you would still be paid what statute contemplates here. What I've seen in other situations, this is something your school corporation wants very, very much in order to help with enrollment at Salamone Elementary. You have, one of your treasures here is you have a really well-run and good public elementary school for your community. You want new workforce housing in your community. And when I say workforce housing, that does not mean subsidized housing. That does not mean governmental assistance housing. That means workforce housing for individuals, married couples, families who can afford a home, but there are limitations because they're usually hourly, or if they are salary, it's not at the upper end of the scale. So what I've seen, and if the town wants to keep control of the project, keep control of the land, there could be, easily, sure, we can go and look at other developers. There aren't a lot of them, good developers, residential developers here in Northeast Indiana. We could do that. We could talk to residential builders that are in the development business as well. Granite Ridge Builders is one of them. I'm happy to do that. I would counsel you that I suspect you may find that we're going to run into the same issues that we ran into with Oakmont.
Can you just, on your opinion,
Yep.
give us a rundown on the benefits of the town remaining in control and the benefits of us not remaining in control?
The benefits are that you get to see a development that you think is really beneficial to your community. That's the biggest benefit.
Okay. But if it's with the county, I feel like we would also, they would have the same things they would want.
Yes, with the County Redevelopment Commission. And the Redevelopment Commission for Huntington County is such that because they're a governmental entity, a redevelopment commission, they have far greater latitude in how they can dispose of real estate for economic development projects than what a town can. It's not this town, it's any town.
Yeah.
Within the state of Indiana. In addition to that, where I've seen and good success in other situations, and I don't know if this exists, but if there's a Indiana nonprofit community development corporation here in Warren or in Huntington that has the town's interests really at heart, who works in parallel, in tandem with the town in achieving what you want to achieve. I've seen where they have stepped in, have worked with the municipality or the town or county entity, they'll undertake the development. Because they're a nonprofit or a 501c3, their need for profit is not, it's not driven. It's not nearly the same. It's nowhere near the same as it is with a private developer. And because they're local or, within this county, they're usually comprised of individuals that you trust, and that not only report to you, but they do what the town wants to get done. So either one of those two options, I believe, are options that are worth exploring. You have the option of doing nothing, continuing to do nothing. I'd remind you, as we talked about last time I was here, your agreement with the school district does have time limitations on it. By the end of this year, we're gonna start bumping up against those. So it will, if your option is to do nothing, then I will recommend that we approach the school district to extend the time frame by which a development has to be initiated on the property to meet their, the agreement that we have with them. I personally, I believe no one is saying that you don't need new housing. No one is saying that the market cannot absorb new housing. No one is saying that people do not have money. No one is saying you can't get a loan. No one is saying that. What the private development community is saying is that we can't absorb the lots quick enough to justify the investment we need to make in buying the property and excavating the property to make it ready for development. If you remove that and put it in the hands of either the redevelopment commission or with a private nonprofit that is local, in either situation, with an agreement, in either situation, that assures the town that its objectives are carried out and completed, not within what the private developer's time frame might be, but your time frame. And you have the luxury of looking out into the horizon, much longer than what the private development community would do, with your community's interests at heart. That is worth going down the path, I believe, and it would be time better spent than doing nothing. It's because lots are selling, new homes are being built. Northeast Indiana continues to attract new population. The area is growing. I believe Huntington County, correct me if I'm wrong, you're not shrinking. There's not net migration leaving the county. There remains just as good, if not equally better reasons for the town to undertake a measured, which this is and would be, new housing development for the betterment and growth of the community. Whether it's completed within 2 years, I'm not sure you care. It'd be great, yes, but what the town, I believe, and I'm not here to speak for you, but most municipalities, what they care about is seeing the project completed long-term. Whether it's completed while all of you are on the town council, or I'm your attorney, Marilyn's your clerk. That's not the issue as much as it is, or how much money we make. The money that you're going to make will be the revenue that comes in from the tax sale. It'll be the additional children in the seats at Salamone Elementary. It'll be the personal taxes that people will spend here in the community when buying things. That's what you get out of it. So I thought a lot about this. I believe, again, there's nothing that ties you to any private developer. I'm very happy to run the traps with any handful of private developers. I believe we're going to be told the same thing that we've been told before in the past. And again, that's because anyone that you work with in the private community will have to go out and get financing for a development loan to excavate the land, to extend utilities, put in the streets, put in utilities, pave the streets, plat the land. There's a cost of money in doing that. That's based on the current interest rates, and any builder they're just gonna run into the same problems that I believe Oakmont ran into. But we can look. We're very happy to look. I believe what you'll find, though, is that exploring whether it's with the Huntington Redevelopment Commission, if they have an appetite for this, to really work with you as partners, not to take the project over and for you to never see them again, but as partners by way of a well-drafted interlocal agreement that you would enter into with them to assure that you remain not only at the table, but to a large extent in control with what they're doing. Or if there is an entity available, a local, truly local, not Allen County, but Huntington County driven or Warren driven community development corporation that is nonprofit, that is not worried about the rate of absorption, that is not worried about the amount of net profit coming in on the sale of each lot, that is not worried about moving on to their next development, but is only worried about working with you to achieve what you want for the town of Warren.
So, you're talking about the timeline, and if you're working with somebody private, they've got to have the money, and so they've got to have their turnaround. Okay, so if we do it with Huntington County Community Development, how does that change? I mean, so whoever comes in and does it is still going to have a timeline, correct?
Yeah. So if you do it with the redevelopment commission,
Yeah.
You could. You're able to look at this without selling the land at appraised value to them, and they're able to, if the right circumstances of our true redevelopment project are at play, they're able to put the land into the deal, because that's the type of power they have as a redevelopment commission.
It's the
That's,
redevelopment commission.
that's almost $300,000 off the top line from the beginning. If you work with a local, and I'm not saying you would have to do that, but even if you were to work with the redevelopment commission, again, you could take the purchase price of $285,000 if you square it up, and you could say, well, look, we don't need to be paid until, again, as I said at the back end, we want to be paid, but pay us on a per lot basis, based on, and we can charge a far more modest interest rate at the federal funds rate than a bank would charge, very modest, we can work with you there. There's just a lot more flexibility, Councilman, that you have with the redevelopment commission or working privately with a community development corporation.
So how does the land transfer work with a nonprofit then? Does it work, is it the same way they can sell
would,
less,
Councilwoman.
or is it?
You would convey the land, you would take a mortgage back, you would take a note back, you would enter into a development agreement with that community development corporation that would give you rights to approve the plat, the number of lots, builder. Remember with Oakmont, they wanted to bring in one builder to do the entire development. Well, you may want that. You may want a selection of 2 or 3 builders to give you different types of housing style. You can establish parameters as to cost, value that is going to be provided here for the town of Warren. You really can't do that with any private. You lose that. Yeah. That's what you give up in exchange for getting a check. But it would work in a very comparable way. The same type of, if you were to develop an interlocal governmental agreement with your redevelopment commission here in Huntington, the same terms and provisions that you would have in that type of agreement would be very comparable to the terms and provisions you would have in a development agreement with a local community development corporation.
And then with the agreement with the school, when we had the initial purchase agreement with the school, and there is that time frame. If it goes to a nonprofit, like they have to carry on that same
Correct.
Agreement
Correct.
that was set, and that
Correct.
time frame
Right.
is still set there.
And they would know that up front. And it may be, whether it be a local nonprofit, whether it be the redevelopment commission. I mean, they may say, well, we can do this, but, we need a little breathing room. Can we approach the school district?
Yeah, what is that date?
It's 5 years, right? From 20.
There's like 3 years left or something like that, right?
Yeah.
What?
No,
The
there's not
purchase
3 years
agreement.
left.
No, not 3 years
No,
left.
No, there's not 3 years. It was after 2, wasn't it? I think it was after 2 years.
I believe you have about a year and a half left.
Yeah, after
To
2.
start.
3 years.
Now,
after.
when you say start, does that mean the paperwork's set up or there's a shovel in the ground?
Shovel in the ground.
Shovel in the ground,
Councilman.
okay.
Yes. Not a home build, but
A shovel in the ground,
excavation. site work.
excavation, okay.
Um,
Site work has started in a year and a half,
Sure.
is the current agreement.
Is it possible, and I'll ask the council too, that what you're saying can be put into a written form that we can, the council can really understand? I mean, you're saying all this, but is there a way to better understand this with the building, with the Huntington County redevelopment?
Just what that, I guess maybe what that process looks like.
Yeah.
Either with either option, I guess. I'd just like to know what that process would look like for us, working with them, and then also I know initially we were looking at obviously selling it to a developer. We knew that income was coming back that we could then put towards our portion of infrastructure that we had originally thought we would provide, I guess. So if the land trust, or not, sorry, if the land transfer process is different than what we originally thought, or the appraised value, if we're going for less than the appraised value, knowing what we have to give or put back in towards infrastructure would also be helpful. Is that?
That's a good question, and at the start, the idea was that you would only supply the electric lines,
Okay.
the electrical part, and that was it.
Mm-hmm.
I think what Tom's saying is you have no agreement going forward on any of that.
So we can decide how much we,
Yes.
whether, and then that's up to
And the
them to
300,000 you were gonna get would go to move the sewer line and do whatever,
Right.
but it wasn't the infrastructure part that Tom's talking about as the development.
Okay.
It was to do some improvements in there.
But, so usually, I mean, I think as a municipality, we would supply that to the site, and then from there, they would take it, correct?
The utilities are at the site.
Okay,
Yeah.
They're all three at the site. The electric, water, and sewer is right there.
okay.
So the town doesn't have that cost that you might have somewhere else. They all run right down State Road 5. So they're already there. The cost was in the initial agreement with Oakmont was that they were concerned, to hire an electric company, and said, well, the town would do that. Because you would see some money back from the electric. I mean, that's,
From us
but
selling
they were gonna put in the
usage.
water, sewer, and everything else.
Okay.
That, the only cost of the town would be the electric. And that wasn't to do streetlights and everything, that was to put in the cables and whatever, along with the phone company.
So your agreement with the school board requires that site work commence on or before February 24th, 2028. So you're a year and a half. You have all 27. Don't think that's a long time.
Yeah, I know.
But, council members, this is not a really difficult, any piece of development has its own unique twists. But you know this land, the school corporation knows this land. This land's been here in the community. It's not rolling, it's pretty well known. I would suggest consideration of really looking at a good, and it would cost you very little, a good civil engineer to lay out, and Oakmont had gone down this path, and maybe they'll turn over what they had in Maryland for nothing.
We have some of that.
Pardon me?
We have some
You
of
may
it.
have some of that, but
We have
a
the,
good civil engineer is going to tell you, okay, you have this amount of land. Here are the lots, typical lots that we would lay out for your community like this. And they can also give you a very good budget, working site development budget. So you have that number. And then consider, should you approach the redevelopment commission, or is there a local, truly local community development corporation that is not only willing to engage with you, but whether it's them or the redevelopment commission, has the willingness and appetite to go to the Huntington County Community Foundation and see what they can do to help contribute towards the site work. That's the beauty of a nonprofit community development corporation. They can raise money in ways that the private development community just.
no, you
is
said
unable to.
corporation, and then you said go to the foundation.
Sure,
Yeah,
Well-
go to the foundation for additional funding
sure.
for
Yes.
development.
Yeah, instead of a bank.
So
Right.
you've been meeting with them, so what are you hearing with Eric Long? Have you been meeting with him or talking with him?
Not since, I talked with him,
Yeah, back in, that's what I was gonna know,
Well, we
because you
just
had,
got an
you
in-
had that meeting with them back in.
back,
Yeah,
yes.
and there was some additional information, that's what I was gonna ask you, did they
Right,
give you
and
anything?
then
on that?
if we want to pursue him, if you want to,
I'm not saying that, I just got an invoice today and his name was there, that's why I'm
Okay.
asking him. I mean, an invoice from your company. where you-
Sure, from, that's
An invoice
right.
from Barrett McNagany
Sure.
that showed a
Right,
conversation with
correct.
Eric Long, and I'm just questioning, where does Eric Long come in?
He was, when this meeting was originally set up a
Yeah,
month
he was
or-
coming to me.
Yes, and he called, he
Okay.
called wanting to
Okay.
know when
Okay.
I was
Okay.
coming down, but
Okay.
that's it, and I don't represent him, Marilyn.
Okay, no, I was just confused
Right.
between corporation and then it was foundation, and it's like,
But what he has represented, but I don't know, I've not seen anything, he's represented that, you know, he would love the ability to, you know, form, if one's not formed, a local community development corporation to work on something like this. That's great, that's all well and good. I think from the town's perspective, I would, regardless of who you work with, regardless, I believe there's a lot of merit in the town educating itself with the help of a civil engineer working for you, as to what, not only what a subdivision would look like, that's easy enough, but what are the costs that because when you identify that, you all can then, some of those costs are local to you. Water, sewer, electricity. Then you can start looking at, well, what can we, is there anything we want to bring, want to bring to this equation? Then, armed with that knowledge, that vision of what you want, sit down with who you think would be the appropriate partner for you to accomplish this.
let me ask, is it, knowing the civil engineer that did the work for Oakmont, and he's local.
His name was Joe Herron.
Yeah, he's local. Is it okay to contact him since he's,
Sure.
because he already has worked on this. We have maps and everything from Joel.
Sure.
Okay.
Uh,
I just wanted to clarify if it's
And
okay.
I'd be happy to contact Oakmont, to see if they'd release, if
Yeah.
they're willing to release
I
what
think
they
that
have.
would save you some
And
time
we can
and
save
money.
some, yeah, as I say, if we
Sure.
can save going down the same
I
road
will say,
twice.
to bring out, since, that you still have 125,000 in your ARP money. So some of this initial work will still not impact the taxes or anything. It's the ARP, the American Recovery Act from a few years ago, and that has to be used by next year. So, what he's talking about and everything we would use up that money.
I was asking about, I know you did meet with, I can't think of the name of the company, but they had, wanted to meet with us, and then you ended up representing us with them, and that's what I was curious, what that additional, like, support, was there funding available for infrastructure, or what was that?
Councilwoman, I had a telephone conference with a gentleman named Jacob Irie.
Okay,
IHRIE. Jacob is with the Northeast Indiana Regional Partnership, Economic Development Corporation for Northeast Indiana, office in Fort Wayne. We discussed, and Eric Long was on this call as well. This was 2-3 months,
Yeah.
4 months ago.
yeah,
Jacob thought, I've heard nothing more, he thought there might be funds, and the regional partnership was willing to look at the possibility of bringing ready monies.
Ready, yes.
Are from the state of Indiana. They're grant monies that are available through the Indiana Redevelopment Commission, and your county commissioners here would, those monies flow through the state, they come through the regional partnership. They then go to the 11 counties within the partnership. There, we would need to work with your commissioners to see the extent of their willingness to bring this project forward, to see if there's a chance to get funding for that. It's a potential pot of money. And Jacob was very willing, interested, not sure if there was anything available, but our ability, your ability, to effectively communicate the scale, scope of residential subdivision, range of housing, costs that you believe you're going to be incurring, are all really necessary for you to then turn around and either on your own or in partnership with the redevelopment commission or a community development corporation, go out and search for available funding.
Okay.
I just brought it back to, and that, everyone that for instance, Jacob thought it's a great project, great idea. Everyone wants housing. They've been wanting every county in Northeast Indiana has been wanting housing. It's happening in Allen, obviously, but the more rural counties are wanting housing. How do we get it? Well, that's, when you bring this up, you map it out, here are costs, here's the problems we're having in identifying, we have a gap, can you help us? People are usually really, really helpful. I'm just at a little loss. When Oakmont backed away, our ability to identify, the costs and what we need goes, that went with them as well. I'm advocating that you bring that under your control. Your property, your project, your expenses, and then start from there to go down the path. And I don't believe that's a long path. That can fall together pretty quickly, folks, very quickly. Not 2027. The fall of 2026, the fall, not winter, fall of 2026, you could get an awful lot of work done. And by the end of this year, I believe, well before the end of this year, I believe you'd be very confident in knowing what it is that you want to do and then where to go to get it done. And I'm sorry, I don't mean to hijack. All without the necessity of having to give up on getting the appraised value. You just maybe pay that at the back end, but you'd be paid, you would be paid, the town would be paid. Nowhere have I suggested that you just give the land away. You can do that with the redevelopment commission. I think that would be your last, it's kind of your last plan, plan E, so to speak. Okay?
I think my questions have been answered.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Okay?
Thanks, Tom.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So I think.
So any discussion on how to proceed? I would suggest they contact Joel, right, or Oakmont, or,
Yeah.
I can't see, but
I can contact Joe, I can contact Oakmont, I can do that.
Because that would
and-
say right at the very
Yeah.
beginning and give you maybe a better idea. Now, they were looking at 50 lots, but that doesn't mean the next developer will put 50 houses in there.
Right.
Right.
yes.
But Joel, we have a lot of his maps. I'm not even sure. Do you remember, Dustin, we might even have, do we have the utility, we even have the utility layout through Joel.
So we have a lot already.
So, yeah, we have a lot already.
Okay.
So if he gets with Joel and we start from there, we might be a good,
Yeah, start with Oakmont and Joel and,
well, Oakmont to see if they'll release.
yeah.
Yeah, see if they'll release the information so that we have
Yeah.
something to start with.
And then Joel, you said he would be the one that would kind of help us decide the budget as well,
Joe
the cost that would be
Herendeen,
incurred.
he's not the only one, Joe Herendeen and Sarland Surveying, they're excellent
Okay.
civil engineers.
Yeah.
I think Joe does a lot of work in Huntington County.
He does.
He
He
may
does.
live in Huntington,
Columbus.
I'm almost positive he lives near the city of Huntington.
He does.
And and they, the vast majority of their work is in residential and real estate development. That they'd be, if they're willing to, they'd be very good to work with.
So that's where we start, is with that civil engineer.
Sure, yes.
So do we have a timeline of when you think that's something we can get before, like by our September meeting?
Yes,
Okay.
yes, very much. And I would, if you want to start putting this on your agenda, monthly agenda,
Okay.
Well, maybe
not
we
that-
could have an informational meeting too,
not
where
that
we can
you-
just look at this stuff.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm not advocating that you know, if you want me here, great. You know, if my task is, we want a monthly report for each monthly meeting, and we want to start tasking this, then just tell me that, and we'll do that.
That would be good.
Very good.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I appreciate
you.
it.
Well, they might as well do the DCD, right?
Yeah.
I mean, she walked right in the door.
Perfect timing.
Hi.
Perfect.
Hi, guys. How are you?
Good. How are you? Thanks, Mom.
Good, thank you.
I didn't have time to send a packet, but they have it.
Okay, they got it, okay. So as you can see, we have not updated most of our building permit fees since '04. And some of the major zoning fees were added or changed in '09. So it's been a long time. So it's been a long time coming. We're just asking that you approve our fee schedule update at this time.
I think you guys have seen this a while ago.
And we
Yeah.
won't be able to increase this for 5 years due to the new House bill. And even then, it can only be, I think, 3 to 4% or whatever the rate of inflation is.
Is that kind of why it was such a long gap to begin with? Because I was curious about
No,
the jump and.
I had approached it several years ago, maybe like 7 years ago, and I was just kind of told, no, don't do it. We don't want to mess with that right now. But a lot of communities, once they saw this House bill go through, knew that they needed to increase their rates just to kind of make up for lost time, especially us. Ours had been quite
When
a
I
long
called
time.
over to the office, that's pretty much what they said. This was making up for us not
Yes.
having small increments all along.
And I was told to follow the city of Huntington because,
Yeah.
you know, being in Huntington County and everything, just to make it less confusing for everyone, so we mirrored their fees.
And then with the state rules now, there will never be another basically lump sum, I'll call it.
Right, it'll only be based on the rate of inflation,
Yeah.
and I think then you can only do it every 5 years.
Yep, okay. Did you get a chance to look at this, Ron?
Yes, I did.
Okay. It's gotta be done. So,
First, we need a motion to approve an ordinance. Oh, no, it was introduced already.
yes,
So you just need an ordinance to approve.
a motion to approve? I make a motion to approve.
I'm sorry, yeah. You make the motion?
And I would second.
Okay, Ron,
Yes.
Michelle,
Yes.
and
Scott, yes. Thought maybe you forgot my name.
no. How could I?
So I'll need you each to sign on both of these on the in favor side, and then Marilyn, I need you to sign both of these. This is what Adrian says needs to be printed in the paper, so it's quite a long
You've already
legal
done this
notice.
at some of the other towns, right?
Yeah, you guys are my second to last.
Okay.
So
Whoopsie.
I knew it had been going
the next
around
one is
already.
Mount Etna, and then I'll be done with all of them, so.
Excuse me, could you open my pen?
Sure.
I thought I'd try to do that and then it
I
wouldn't
didn't
even
know
work.
if I was the president.
And basically, it's 2 of them, just so you can keep one if you'd like. Then you've got a copy of what's being put in the paper.
Oh, I'm sorry.
So
Oh, I see.
There's that one.
Adrian crafted that, yeah.
There you go.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And then let's sign both of these, and you can keep one of those as well.
You know, this seems like a lot to do for us with that property. I mean, it seems like we need somebody else involved with it.
I'll keep this one, and you can keep that
I
one.
just-
Thank
I
you.
don't think that's our
No, it's not
forte.
our- It's not our
I agree,
jurisdiction.
yeah.
Did you need one of these?
Yeah, did I just walk away with one of them? Yes,
Down to
ma'am.
unfinished business.
Thank you.
Okay, what we have here, but
Done?
We're good?
We're good?
Yes, thank you.
Unfinished business.
Deputy Marshal and the utility employee have both completed their initial hiring periods. And I need to know if you're lifting that probation period on both of them, and which time this our ordinance provides a $2,000 increase in their wages.
Do we need to do that individually?
No, you could
Okay.
do it together.
I'm good with
Yeah,
that.
I'm good with that.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Nobody wants to stay.
What's
I
this?
said, nobody wants to stay.
It's a nice
Everybody's-
day. Talk faster, Scott.
Okay, the income survey, everything's with the grant administrator now. And the issue we face is, I think he explained it to you, so we sent all the information, the mailing information to him. They put it into a program and it picks every, whatever, let's say every 25th person or something.
Yeah.
The problem we have that he's looking at is since the billing at Dugwood Villas goes now to Heritage Point, it doesn't show as residential. So he's double checking on that because it removes that group of people, which would be okay, but we need to make sure if we need to make a different kind of effort to send to those people. We still have their mailing addresses from before we switched it all to Heritage Point. So that's where we are now, is just waiting on that. But everything's been sent to him.
Okay.
So I left a message on Friday morning, and I believe he was going to be gone. But I assume we'll have a message here in the next week or so. So we'll be able to proceed with that.
Okay.
But that's where we are with that. Okay, SRF loan. This happened in January of this year, it started in December of last year, that we still had outstanding from the loan we took out to do Wayne Street water project. We ended up with unused funds of around $227,000. And in December of last year, the council worked with Ben, and SRF was approached to see if they would let us do some other projects related to the water department. And that's what you see listed here. This is the letter from SRF saying, yes, that would be fine. It would be a reimbursement, because really we're paying on the funds. So yes, they approved those projects, the high service pump and well pump rehabilitation, it's the painting of the 11th Street Tower, and the Nancy Street water main replacement, hydrants and other connections to that. So I went through the invoices, and the total is $210,981.25. So I just want your go ahead to submit this to SRF. This will all come back to the water department. And those projects were done with a grant there.
Okay.
Or with a loan, I'm sorry, with a loan. So I need a motion to give that send that on to SRF, to Mike Kleinpeter, who will send it to SRF then.
I will make that motion.
I'll second it.
Okay, Ron,
Right.
Yes.
Oh,
Michelle,
he was.
I know.
Yes.
and Scott.
Yeah.
A lot of confusion there.
Confusion.
It's not good.
Said the name on there.
I do the unfinished business. I want to tell you about patronicity. Has been successful. They'll be making an announcement, so I'm not going to say too much more, except to say the local people came through, and they're all set on that. And the commissioners gave $10,000 today as part of that, so that got enough.
Very appreciated.
Yes,
Yeah.
very blessed.
Exciting.
Yes, so that's on its way. Whoopsie. Whoopsie. Any other
Yeah.
unfinished?
Any other unfinished business? Nope.
Okay, you have a map, I think, in front in your packet. I may not have it.
This picture
Here,
here?
this one right here. This is
Yeah.
a very cool map, isn't it? Very cool picture. Hold it up like this.
Like, it goes like this.
This is Wayne Street.
Okay.
This is Fifth Street, or Fifth Street. This is State Road 5. This is the house on the corner.
Oh, okay, just right up here that they've been
Right
doing
up
the work
here on
on.
the corner.
Gotcha, okay.
Thompson's owned at one time or
Yeah.
Oh
something?
heavens, I don't know.
Well,
Yes,
okay.
it is.
Yeah,
Blatchley owned it at one time.
okay, yes.
Wow, we're going-
I go all the way back to
Okay.
Blatchley.
That's way
I remember
back.
that name too.
Way back.
Yeah, I go back further than you do.
But I know where we're at.
Okay, so they have an interested purchaser that wants to build a garage, and so they've inquired about the closing of this unimproved alley or street. We don't know which it is. The interesting thing is this where the house is and this little quadrant here are owned by the same person. So the procedure would be, we always ask the council whether you have any problems with that. Then that owner will have to petition the council for closing. It's all their costs. And they can either use the town attorney to do it, who knows the process, or they can get their own attorney. That's up to them. I checked with Dustin. Nothing's here. It's a unique little area.
I
there.
cannot
So my
believe
only
that.
question on that is if there's something built there, I don't know where it's at, will it impact people, like, will it be a safety issue?
Stop.
for-
That's gonna be a DCD thing.
Okay, so that will be
Because
looked
when I
at.
look at it, I'm concerned that you could even get a garage there.
Yeah, that's what,
Yeah,
I'm the
right.
same way.
But
Yeah.
that will be
Yeah,
looked at.
But that's their.
Okay,
They
alright.
would have to go through the regular building. This is
This is
just,
just us.
Regular
I'm fine.
setbacks and
I'm
everything,
fine
so-
making that,
Yeah.
that's kinda silly that
Yeah,
that's two
That's
separate
silly
lots
too.
already.
They should just own all of that.
I
Yeah.
don't know how they're gonna do that, because this easement, the house
gonna be a
itself
triangle.
is right up next to the easement
Yeah,
in the front.
yeah.
And so, but they could go through and request a
Yeah.
adjustment to the easement, which
Yeah.
goes to the board. So all they're asking is just close
Vacate.
this.
Yep, I'm fine with
Yeah,
that.
So just tell them to, I mean, it'll still be at their expense.
Right, yeah.
So,
That's weird, it's that way anyways, actually.
yeah. Okay. All right, any other questions on that?
Nope.
On my side of it, you have your claims register.
Yep.
It's in the amount of, okay, want to be very clear about this. It's in the amount of $2,933,097. That is because $2,050,000 was moved over to investments.
That's right.
And as you guys have talked, and then as you can see, I put the fund report in here so you can see the investments that were taken out. You guys had talked about that at
Yes.
the last meeting.
Yeah.
So that's all set. So that skews that report. And when you look at the, if I can find it here, I had it marked. When you look at the report itself, I don't know what happened to it. You don't see anything outstanding. What did I do with it? I shuffled my papers too much.
The fund report?
I only had a couple things marked that were unusual, and even that
this,
wasn't,
okay.
I don't know, maybe it's out here,
And the vouchers? Nope, not there yet.
on the vouchers.
The SRF.
Not unusual in that there was something that shouldn't have, oh, I have it marked here for you, okay.
You
Yeah,
have it marked on the SRF.
That is, what is that?
Water outside.
Water outside
Pittsburgh
services,
tank.
Pittsburgh Tank, 11th Street Tower Paint.
Yeah, okay, so we just paid the last invoice on that SRF. So it's on there, but that's showing as outstanding, and that's part that will be reimbursed by SRF. That's
Okay.
$68,000.
$68,925.
Yep, that was the last invoice for the SRF.
Okay.
And then the other thing I marked on there were the investments.
Investments,
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah.
Other than that, again, the largest expenditure, of course, was for purchase power. And everything else was pretty much just payrolls and,
The water transfer, the utility transfer, that second to last one, that was that another one of the,
let me see what.
Utility
I could
transfer.
reach a hundred lines out there. Where are you, a
sorry,
water
the
transfer?
12,000.
That's cash operating to bond and interest. That is a monthly transfer over. That's bond and interest is your water bond
Water bond.
from before, and every month that transfer has to be made.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right.
Any other questions?
You need to sign that.
If you just have it, yeah, you just,
Oh, you have yours.
Sure.
sure. Oh, what, I think I.
I haven't signed this many papers since I bought a house.
Okay, payroll for July was 5 pays. You guys, you had 5 pays, you realize that? And so the total for August was $55,663.04. And you had this to look at, so were there any questions? There was unusual overtime due to power outage.
Okay.
I can't think of.
So they just get
Water
paid.
leak, was that in there too, or is that before this one?
Oh, yeah. The water leak.
The water
water
leak on
leak,
First
Yeah, that
Street.
one in too.
So they just get paid for 3 weeks next month, right?
Yeah. Did you hear that guy?
Extra week of vacation.
I don't think thumbs down is a good response.
I don't think so either.
Any questions on
I,
that?
no, I looked at
So
all
both
that.
of those are by consensus.
Yeah.
Yes.
And we talked about the fund report. You have it in your packet.
Yeah.
Everything kosher there. So that's for your files. BSNA training schedule. Well, we had our first long meeting with them. Not long meeting, I don't mean to say that. First online meeting with them. And they have set the schedule for the transfer. I've lost everything. Here it is. They have set the meetings for a transfer to the new software. As you can see, starting the week of November 9th, they will be on site from 9 to 4. I did ask if the second week where it says on site,
Yeah.
because that's going to interrupt the clerk's office, because we won't have any computers, any accounting or utility software at all while they're transferring over or going through it all. And they have agreed that last week that possibly that will just be done through Microsoft meetings. So that's taken care of. On November 5th and 6th, that is a time when everything will be shut down for their transfer over. We'll still be in the office, but we won't have computers. Yeah. And maybe that's the 19th and 22nd too. There's just going to be times through this when we will not have access to the system. And then the go live week is 11/16 to November 19th. And they will be on site for that go live training to make sure everything's up and running. So it's in writing now. I was hoping it would be before November, because that's right before the annual report and everything, but they're doing the best they can. So that's for you to keep track of us. So the 2027 budget, you've had it now for a couple, 3 months, and so now we're to the stage, you have in your packet the notice to taxpayers.
Yeah.
The public hearing is set for Monday, September 14th. So recheck and make sure you're still okay with the budget. I did meet with the Department of Local Government Finance. She said we're in good shape. Everything looks good. And she saw no problems with it. This will be advertised over our levy, and our current tax rate is 88 cents, and it will advertise over $1, but we don't have the assessed value number yet, so that'll fall. Plus they'll cut the 40,000 out. And the way that works is you have in the general fund is where they start, but in your miscellaneous appropriation, that would come out of that. So you're covered on that cut. Everything's kosher, so to speak. We're all set up for it. So that's, this will be sent down tomorrow, and then next meeting will be your public hearing on it.
Okay.
And if, like I say, check it all out and see if there are any other questions. The next thing is a resolution, and every year in our capital funds for projects, we move forward from the capital funds to the next year. For instance, we talked about motor vehicle highway last meeting, the 200,000. Determined that it couldn't be taken care of this year, so that 200,000 is moved over to the next year's budget. So the budget is $900 and some thousand, but the property tax levy is only 500,000, and that's in all the 4 tax funds. We talked about this several meetings ago. So the maximum levy in the general fund to raise taxes is around 250. So you can tell there's a lot of that. Well, first of all, the LIT monies come in, as we've talked, like 300,000 certified shares and whatever. So the budget isn't totally based on taxes, and I think that's where people maybe get a little confused, because we're going to move forward, plus the LIT. The motor vehicle highway has state distributions of motor vehicle highway funds, and so does local roads and streets. So those funds have revenue outside of the taxation thing. So in front of you, and I sent this earlier, and Michelle did find a addition thing, but the resolution in front of you is to cut the funds that are listed here, and every fund practically has as much move forward as we can. But there's to leave enough for this year, the rest of this year. And we talked about this too at the last meeting. And I prepared a worksheet for you so you could understand how it works. So we'll take, for example, we'll just take motor vehicle highway. The amount to be transferred to next year is 300,000.
Oh, it's on the back of this?
Yeah.
There we go.
300,000.
Yep.
But it's coming out of 461, which is capital projects. It's coming out of 431, which is capital streets. I didn't have quite enough, so I took 3,000 out of engineering. And that's how it works. And then I'll go in, if you guys approve this tonight, I'll go in and I'll cut all those appropriations. Now let's say all of a sudden, for some reason, we have a big street issue and whatever, you still would have enough in motor vehicle highway to cover that 100,000 up in the other appropriations.
Okay.
Lowit, public safety, this is where it's off a little. You have a police car to purchase next year. The police car, what was else coming out of that? Anyway, so I moved forward as much as I could out of it, and still left, I think, 50,000. I'll show you that report. Any questions on that? CCD, the park improvements, I moved forward what we could into next year when you'll hopefully have the grant. You may see park several, or a couple other places. TIF, when Greg spoke with you, he talked about this sewer project coming up, and TIF can pay part of that. I mean, it'll be prorated out. So I moved into next year, almost everything we had, so it would be available next year. If there's some left at the end of this year, and let's say instead of what we have in TIF, we need a little, what was left this year, you just do an additional to it.
Okay.
There's always fluctuation. Now, it has to go through the state. You have to prove you have the cash. But I moved as much as I could, almost all of it. And Everfresh will be paying tax money too, because the TIF gets the property tax from the TIF district. So that'd be 90,000 even at the end of this year if it's not moved. Any questions on all of that?
We talked about a little bit about street paving and some different things with that. Is that what some of that?
That's what I
motor
said,
vehicle
is you
highway-
guys made no decision, so there's not
This
really
is
time
moving.
now, so
Right.
I just moved it to the next year.
And that we'll be able to be doing towards
Yeah,
that
it's
then
there.
next year.
It's there. That's what I was talking about, the 200,000.
Okay.
The 197.
197, we get that, yeah. Okay.
Because it wouldn't be time now to go through the bid and,
Right, for this year.
yeah. And if you don't move it forward, it's not the end of the world, but it's easier to do it this way than do additionals. We don't run on additionals. As I said before, maybe my whole time here, we've done maybe 3. So it's easier just to do it this way and move forward.
All right. I'm good with that.
I'm good with that.
I need a motion on that.
I'll make a motion.
Okay, Michelle?
I'll second.
Rod?
Yes.
Michelle?
Yes.
And Scott?
Yep.
Scott, I need for you to sign, oh, you're signing yours copy?
I mean, you ain't sign yours.
I want you to sign my copy. All right, it's mine.
The park board met, sorry, I'm jumping ahead.
Go ahead.
Park board met a couple weeks ago, and we were cut short by the lovely weather. So we got through. There's part
I
of the
actually sent
organizational.
them a text and said, please clear the building.
It was a little iffy. So we did at least get the organizational pieces started, and we have it set to meet on a monthly basis the 4th Wednesday of the month at 5. So our next meeting is August 26th at 5.
So you guys voted people on, did all that?
Yeah, so Mike Haggerty is our president, Mackenzie Sharp is our vice president, and Jessica Stuckey is our secretary. And so,
Nice.
next step is essentially to start talking about what we have and the park plan. So that's going to be the focus over the next few months. So I'm really encouraged about their
Awesome.
excitement to put this on.
It's gonna be interesting to see how the park looks after this patronicity. Mike did come in the office, and there are several people volunteered, so it's gonna be a huge volunteer thing.
Yeah.
And,
I'm just really thankful for all the people that have put their time into pursuing this grant, and then also the people that gave. So,
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Awesome. So,
Unfortunately, the grant will be for the fun things like paving.
Yeah.
But still has to be done.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's appreciated. So, all right.
Next meeting, September 14th. Is it 5? Okay, I didn't know if we had anything before it or not.
No.
It's just a regular meeting. Okay.
It's a public hearing on the budget,
Yeah,
but it's a regular,
by regular time.
the
Okay.
public hearing will be at 5.
Okay. All right. You guys have anything you want to add?
I don't think so.
Okay, we're out of here.
I have nothing.
We're done. Thanks for coming.
Okey dokey.